Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now, whenever anybody is touched by a disability, it doesn't just impact that one person. It typically has a ripple effect across generations. Parents, grandparents, if you do get married, inshallah, it's going to impact your children. That's the reality of it. But it also impacts your siblings. And throughout this entire series up to this point, we kept talking about individuals with disabilities and what do we need to do to make them, put them in a better situation to get married. What do parents need to do? What does society need to think about those individuals? But we never stopped to think about how this impacts their siblings. We took a survey, and 54 parents that filled out our survey said that they have other children that are looking to get married. And 70% of them, of the group that have children, said they're afraid that their own children that do not have special needs won't get married because of their child with special needs. Can you imagine how much that weighs on their parents? That one child that doesn't have special needs is being discriminated against because of their brother or sister. Who knows how that brother or sister is feeling towards their other brothers that have special needs? How the parents are torn apart. They don't know how to handle it. We asked those parents from a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about your child getting married? How much do you fear that your child will never get married with special needs? And 10 being that it keeps them up at night. How worried are they? 38% put a 10 out of 10. They can't sleep at night. They're so worried. And 56 of them were 8 or above, 56%. They are worried about their families because they know that not only are individuals with special needs are not going to get married, but even that their children that do not have special needs are going to find difficulty getting married. This is so difficult because the entire community, they're not just discriminating against an individual, they're discriminating against the family. From a personal experience of mine, one of my cousins was going to get married, and they invited, their family, his potential in-laws, to the party, and I was invited as well. And I went to my cousin and I said, "Do you want me to come? What if people see me and start asking questions? They start asking about, what's wrong with me, and is it genetic, and what problems do we have? And maybe they might even disregard the proposal altogether." And my cousin looked at me and said, "If they look at you and they don't want to be part of our family because of what you have, then I don't want to be part of that family to begin with." He made it very clear that you don't want to be part of that family. And when you have family like that, when you have a community like that, when you have a support group like that, it makes it feel comfortable. It makes you feel wanted. And alhamdulillah, they're married now because they didn't even look at me. They didn't even think about it. Not that they didn't look at me. They didn't even think about it. I got along with everybody so well. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who provides. MashaAllah, got married to a beautiful family. And alhamdulillah, everyone got along. And it was an amazing situation. But I can't imagine how many families, how many parents are going through that discrimination. How many brothers and sisters are sitting at home looking to get married, but people won't even look at them because of what their sibling has. No, I understand the concern that it might be because of fear of this might be a genetic cause and it might carry over. But instead of just saying no, let's look into it. Let's find out what the reasons are. Is it genetic? Can we get tested? These are questions that are very important. Instead of assuming that this is not something we want, we should look into it. And that's one thing that is a problem within our community. People ask me when they find out that I'm married, alhamdulillah, is your wife of the Christian faith? And I'm like, why would you ask that? And they're saying, because Christian people, they love, Muslims, they always discriminate. They don't care about us. And this is another person that has special needs. I'm talking to another brother that has special needs. He assumed my wife was of the Catholic faith. I not only told him that my wife is a Muslimah, but I also said that she's from Pakistan. She's come from the subcontinent of Pakistan, India area. And he was blown away. He's like, wow, really? From there? People were accepting of you? And I said, yeah, my wife is an amazing person, mashallah. But not only that, it's not just my wife, it's my wife's family, right? Their entire family was accepting of me, alhamdulillah. And on top of that, there's a lot of families that are like that. But we just need to be willing to have that conversation, willing to be honest and open up with one another, and not discriminate each other over things that are not even in our control. I hope that, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts it in our hearts to ask the right questions. It's okay that you don't want to marry somebody that may have special needs or even be in that family, as long as you ask the right questions. If it's not a good fit for you, then it's not a good fit for you. No one's forcing anyone to do anything. But if you're just automatically going to discriminate against an entire family because of something like this, then that is so far from the sunnah, and it hurts that it's happening to our brothers and sisters, all over the world. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all of us, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.